I've always said that the idea that you can do something so well in your life that no one will allow you to do it again is a very difficult thing to go through in your life.
What's up, everyone? Victoria here with PopCulture.com, and today I am joined by, honestly, like one of everybody's favorites, Alfonso Ribeiro. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. I was about to say before we started this interview, you were so cheerful and so happy for a Wednesday, and I appreciate that.
It's hump day. It's hump day. Like, the week we're right in the middle. We're right at a peak, right? And then it's downhill from here, but it was uphill there. It's just, or it's a valley. I don't know which one it is. Some people say it's a peak. Some call it a valley. I don't know.
Either way, we're halfway there.
You can view it like the peak is the weekend. The peak could be Wednesday. Not really sure.
Yes, that's all how you view life, my friend. Last year was a doozy for everyone. I wanted to just do a quick check-in with you and just see how you're doing this year. How's your year been?
Year's been fantastic. Obviously as good as can be, in this time. But we are on the road again. Last year, my family and I, we bought an RV and we traveled over 20,000 miles. And this year we have started again. We are traveling. This is not my house.
I was about to say, where are you?
I'm in the Tetons. I am in Jackson, Wyoming. You see, I'm the only black guy. It's okay. But we are up here. We're hanging. We're traveling the Northwest, and we were able to get this place to come and do interviews and for today, and then I continue to hang out and go ATVing and fishing and all the rest of the kids.
Alfonso, I love hearing that. A lot of people started doing that after last year. So when I hear that people just kind of pack up and just, I don't know, make life a little bit more simple and do it the RV style, it sounds really refreshing. And so I'm happy to hear you doing that.
Yeah, it's simple and complicated.
All in one. We've gotten very spoiled to the luxury lifestyle.
I went over the Teton Pass and my brakes were on fire this morning. So, hey.
Well, you're alive, and that's what matters.
I'm here. I didn't crash the RV. We're good.
You're here. Okay, we're good. I'm so happy to hear that. We need you here, please.
Thank you.
Listen, you got nominated for an Emmy for Best Game Show Host. How does that feel? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's 2 nominations in a row, which is quite amazing to me and special to be nominated with Alex Trebek and Pat Sajak and Steve Harvey and Wayne Brady. And just, I felt incredibly honored to be able to have that and to be the only show on the Game Show Network to get that nomination. Made me feel very proud. I feel like I really love doing the show, and it was a lot. It's been a lot of fun doing it, and so to be given that nod was very special, very cool.
Well, and I was gonna say that it probably adds an extra oomph to it in a sense that I've watched some of your interviews over the years, and I know you've been very open about your character on Fresh Prince, Carlton. And while it's a beautiful thing that your character is so beloved and people just love you for it, it boxed you in and it prevented you from being able to explore other opportunities. And so you've talked about going into hosting has allowed you to flourish as Alfonso and not as Carlton. And so to be honored for that has to add a little cherry on top.
It absolutely does. I've always said that the idea that you can do something so well in your life that no one will allow you to do it again is a very difficult thing to go through in your life, right? Like, imagine being the greatest home run hitter in the game and never being allowed to go hit home runs because you hit home runs.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, right? But in show business, that sometimes is the case. So having to reinvent myself by turning myself into myself, which is weird, but being able to do that and get a nomination and get the recognition for what I've been able to do with that was very special. So
well, you're so deserving of it, and this might be a loaded question, but I've had the opportunity to talk to a few people that are in similar positions as you. I literally just talked to Tiffany Thiessen the other day, and we talked to Saved by the Bell, and I kind of asked her the same thing. Like, are you ready to like break away? Like, have you been able to break away? And again, this might be a loaded question, but is there a way that we as the fans, or maybe Hollywood and the industry, can do something to help actors not get boxed in when they're so good at one role?
Well, I would say this, you know, every actor typically gets one, maybe two opportunities after whatever they're really known for. Support them in those roles, right? Like, really, if you're a fan of somebody on a show, like, and they do something else, make it a priority to go watch whatever it is they're doing, even though it's not what you're used to seeing them do.
Yeah.
Be a fan.
Yeah.
Support them as a fan. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's always box office, right? Like, if you go and do something new and it does really well, guess what? You get to keep doing it. If it doesn't, then they start thinking, well, really, they just love them for that character. So just, if you're a fan of someone, watch everything they do. And that, to me, is probably the only way to break that cycle of, like, they're famous for this, well, that's all they can be famous for.
Yeah, that's some good advice. That's really good. Thank you for sharing that, because I wanted to see people like yourself flourish into other roles. And I know that it's hard. And you've mentioned the Dancing with the Stars family, how they're almost second to Fresh Prince, and you know, your partner, you've put her up there. What do you think, now that you've taken over America's Funniest Home Videos as host? I can't help, you know, to think, you know, Tom Bergeron was in that position. And then obviously with what happened with him last year, do you have thoughts on what happened with the Dancing with the Stars situation?
Well, I probably can't get into any, you know, specifics, since I don't have any, in terms of internally what happened on that show. Obviously, with Tom and AFV, he had decided he no longer wanted to do it, and openly said to the world and ABC and the producers that he thought that I would be the best fit to come in and take his place. You know, Tom is family for me too, right? Like, he is this part of my life, this part of my success. He played a major role in that. The Dancing with the Stars family, you know, brought me back to life, right? Gave me a platform to allow who I am and the things that I'm capable of doing to flourish and to be out there, and for people to see me again in a different light. So there's a love for them and everybody on that show that I can't really put into words. I mean, they are family, and they will always be, and they always have my love and support in everything that they do. And it doesn't have to be just Whitney, right? Like, you know, Mark Ballas and Derek Huff, and even though Julianne Hough wasn't a dancer on my season, as a judge, and Carrie Ann and Bruno and Len and the producers, you know, Rob Wade and you know, Rob Mills at ABC. I mean, these are all people that changed my life by being supportive and being there with me. You know, the Shmurkovskys, I can go on and on and on. There was a love there, and you know, it'll always be.
I love that you said Max and Val's last name right. I just talked to them this week too. We butchered the name, but they butchered my last name too, so it was easy.
Well, it's funny because I when I hosted the tour, right, for the show, right, every night I made a joke of Val's name, right? So you know, it became like a running joke, you know. Val Shmurkovsky.
Yeah.
Val.
When they break it down, it's still hard.
Yes, no. Shmurkovsky. Yes. I you know, Max and Valentine.
Yes.
Maxim and Valentine.
Maxim and Valentine. All right, we got it right. They'll be happy to hear that we discussed that, we talked about them. Listen, you make lives just better by the entertainment that you put out there, but you're also partnering with Cheez-It to continue making lives better. Tell me why this partnership was such a must for you.
Well, I got to tell you, lunchtime is that meal that we all in America just kind of breeze over. It's like, we're going to dinner, we're having breakfast. It's just, lunch, whatever. The only time lunch ever became important was if you were going to a meeting. And so the lunch was not important. It was the meeting that was important. Well, lunch is important. A good meal, a fun meal is important. And we see so many people at home show up with sandwiches like this, right? Like, just what are you doing? That's not a sandwich, okay? That's not how we're supposed to do it. This is how we're supposed to do it. A beautiful sandwich, right? With all the toppings but we want to add we want to step it up a little bit, and we add the Cheez-It Snap'd, right? Which adds that, thin, crispy, snap, cheesy flavor and adds more to your meal. So what we wanted to do is have people come onto my Facebook, my Instagram, and tell us the worst stories about their horrible lunchtime meals. Describe lots of these.
Describe that versus that.
Tell us about how bad lunchtime can be and all of this. But we want to give everybody a chance. The best worst story will have a chance to win $10,000 and a year supply of Cheez-It Snap'd. So come on my Facebook page, my Instagram page, hashtag Snap My Sandwich entry, and you can have a chance to win some money and win some Cheez-Its, Snap'd.
Listen, I'm gonna go do that because I love Cheez-Its. Anything with cheese and anything with carbs, I'm all for. That's very exciting. I'm so happy for that partnership. Listen, what is next for you? I feel like you're a busy man. We know that you're in an RV right now with the fam bam. What's next?
Well, obviously we start the 32nd season of AFV. We just aired our season of AFV Animal Edition on Nat Geo Wild. So those are two that the AFV family continues to grow, continuing to have the fun there. There's a lot of things that are in the works for me, none of which I can talk about yet. We're working some things. I got my hands
back for more, Alfonso.
We're massaging. It's a thing. So we've got some things working, but we'll announce those when it's time.
Good. Well, listen, I grew up a big AFV fan, and the fact that you're kind of taking over that is it's an iconic thing. I feel like a lot of people grew up on that, and the fact that you're just so deserving. And Alfonso, you're so wonderful. I'm so happy for, all that you have accomplished with Fresh Prince and outside of Fresh Prince. Thank you so much for your time. And I wish you and your family the best RV vacation possible.
Yes. No more over the Tetons, burning up the brakes.
Yeah,
for the rest of the trip.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, we're good. We're good now. We're good. I know now that I know that I can't do 10% grades. Can't do it. 10% grades.
But you tried. You wouldn't know if you didn't try. So good for you.
Now we know.
There you go. Everyone, for more on Alfonso and your other favorite celebrities, make sure you keep it right here at PopCulture.com.